Life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.
Yo, what do you know? Welcome to In the Bowl Podcast. Shout out to Hustle 5 Ways for hosting. I'm your host, Naz.
It's your guy, Tallman, live from Dubai.
As always, In the Bowl Podcast is sponsored by your nation's own #1 mobile hookah provider, where they not only do private events, host your favorite venues, retail, distribution, but they also take that experience to that next level. What's going on?
Man, what's going on, man? I see the DMV and the East Coast is starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, man, I had to take the hat off for a minute, man. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot out here, you know what I'm saying? So I had to get a cool breeze out here, man. It's been hot, man. I think we're going through our 4th week of a heat wave. This thing is real, man. You change like 2 shirts in a day, man. It's just hot out here. You got season where you definitely gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta take 3 showers, man. You gotta the morning, night, you take a midday, picker upper. Shit hot out here.
Oh, man. Hey, sounds like my life, man. You wake up in the morning, it feels like 105 outside. So I get it, man. And, enjoy it while it lasts, man. Before you know it, it's going to be windy outside, and you're going to have that shovel out cleaning off that driveway.
See, that's the thing, though. I think that's why I like the DMV, right? I like the DMV because you do get all seasons, right? You get all the seasons, you experience it. And I like all seasons, you know what I'm saying? I like, it needs to be hot when it needs to be hot. It needs to be cold when it needs to be cold. And, you know what I'm saying, your mild seasons during your spring and fall. So I embrace it all, you know what I'm saying? Shit, some days I like when it rains. Some days I like when it snows. So I'm cool with it.
Rain. I have not seen rain in 7 months. I think we had some drizzle out here like 2 weeks ago, and it was like that. It was like that Miami drizzle, where you hear the pit pat for like 5 minutes, and you look outside, it's completely dry.
Yeah. Nah, man, I like it though. I like the rain, man. The rain, I think it just kind of helps, helps slow things down a little bit. You kind of get inside, you just kind of chill. You know what I'm saying? When it rains, I find that's my opportunity just to kick back for a minute. So it gives me a good excuse to be like, no, I don't feel like doing it. No. It just enhances my no a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you kick back for a minute because folks, when it starts to rain, man, they completely lose all their driving skills. Folks act like that it's their first time driving in the rain, man.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I mean, these drivers out here are wild. Speaking of that, before we even get into the driving part of it, you know what I'm saying? As always, it's been a week or so since, you know what I'm saying, we linked up. So as always, we gotta do our celebratory, another day, another week.
Yes,
Cheers,
sir.
brother. Cheers.
Cheers.
No, but speaking of driving, man, this world again, we talk about it all the time. There's a lot of good shit we'll get into later, but this world's getting crazy, just to the point to where, we've been talking about reality shows on TV.
Yeah.
And the other day, one of my buddies was telling me about this new show called Road Wars.
Yeah, I ain't heard of that one yet.
Road Wars is essentially, you know what I'm saying, it's people who can't control their feelings, or, you know what I'm saying, people who just go through this wild shit on the road. And, you know what I'm saying, as we talk about it, you know what I'm saying, we talk about how, like, carjacking's they've been on the rise.
Yeah.
We talk about how, honestly, this shit wild, man. When you driving, there's a lot more cases where people are, you know what I'm saying, pulling out guns while they are driving, or shooting while they are driving. You know what I'm saying? Because someone cuts you off or whatever, right? So, I don't know, this world's crazy, but this show is wild as shit. Like, this show, this show is basically showing how, you know what I'm saying, I think one of the first ones I've seen was this Bama, I guess, cut someone off, got mad, and they were going back and forth, but it just so happened that the person they cut off, the car that they cut off was 2-car caravan, right? And so they were going back and forth, and then all of a sudden, the Bama pulls over, gets back on the road, pulls over, and then finally the Bama pulls over and is like, fuck it, gets out of his car. And then this truck does a U-turn. This Bama pulls out this 18-inch flashlight out of his hip and starts approaching the truck as if the truck is about to stop. This motherfucker jumps up, tries to hit the truck windshield with the flashlight, but gets pummeled by the truck.
Yeah.
Right? And it wasn't even no small truck. It wasn't one of those little Frontier joints. This joint was a big-ass Ram or some shit. And I don't know if he thought he was going to clear the hood and the windshield or whatever he thought it was, but try to go at him. Now, remember, this is the one that, he felt that he was getting cut off. He felt whatever, all this other nonsense. So he pulled over and thought there was going to be an issue. The crazy thing about it, at the end of it, that motherfucker got arrested because he approached the truck. He put over his car, took out his flashlight. He gets hit by the truck. Nothing happens to the truck driver or the other car, and he's the one that gets arrested, and he's in the hospital.
Man, ouch and ouch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I think people just think shit is sweet out here, right? People get real tough when the windows are rolled up, and they don't ever think about all the extra shit that can come behind it, right? And every once in a while, you run into the right one.
Yeah.
And the right one will let you know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why I fuck with that song. I got time to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, folks got that vehicle courage, just like liquid courage, man. You start thinking you're a superhero because man versus truck, man will never win that battle right there.
Never win. That's what I'm saying. You think you're real tough behind that keyboard, when your windows rolled up, when you're on that phone, behind these little text messages. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get the right one on the other end of that line. And, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing worse than you instigating it, getting fucked up, and then you then get the other one to get in trouble. But it happened.
Yeah, man. So you keep knocking on the door, man. Somebody's bound to answer.
I love that phrase. You know what I'm saying? You keep knocking on the devil's door, you're going to answer one day.
Yeah. Catch you off guard.
That was a good quote. That's my movie right there. You know what I'm saying? Poor brother, that's my shit right there. You keep knocking on the door. I'm going to answer one day.
Yeah.
But it just shows how wild this world is, man. It's this world is crazy, man, and just thinking about it, right? And just where people's minds are. So, I was looking at this little clip today, and about that was it Valada, Texas?
Oh yeah. It starts with a U. My pronunciation is gonna be all jacked up, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, the spot in Texas.
There you go. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? We were talking about today, and there was an incident where after all that, they're kind of talking about people who lost their kids or loved ones during that shooting, being upset with the parents and kind of expressing their opinion on their child. And the mother of the shooter is basically defending, is like, you have no right to speak bad on my son, right? I think there are certain times where you just gotta accept reality and be like who your family member is, who your kid is, you know what I'm saying, who your folks are, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta accept. Unfortunately, sometimes you know what I'm saying, you produce a bad seed.
Yeah.
And shit happens. You know what I'm saying? unfortunately, you produce one, and you have to accept that. You know what I'm saying? Your child fucked up, and there are a lot of people that are grieving. And just on how malice and how evil that is, especially just going there shooting innocent bystanders, kids that have so much more life to live, and you just going in there just going to start spraying. So, you know what I'm saying? I have
Yeah.
no sympathy, whatever gets thrown in that kid's way.
No,
You
but
know,
you know what it is. It's a mother's love. You know, a mother is going to defend her baby boy to the end of the earth. But it's different stages of it. First it's like the denial aspect. Like, oh well, try to find excuses and reasons, and then you circle back around to reality. Of the situation. But oh man, yeah. I mean that's a tough one. Like I said, mother is going to defend their baby boy, and at all costs, and I get what you're saying, and I understand the situation, and I don't know, man. That's something we see, time and time again. A mother's reaction. Now, a neighbor's gonna give it to you straight. A neighbor's gonna be like, "Yeah, I always knew something was off," and they're not gonna hold any punches back. But it's just a wild situation. Is every couple of days, you get updates as to what happened and what went wrong. I think they just produced like a 70-page report, looking at the whole situation. And I don't know, man. It's definitely a tragedy. Definitely.
a major tragedy. I don't want to speak too much on it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're still going through it. But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, man. I just can't see the okay in it, or you know what I'm saying. I just can't see the rhyme, reason, or whatever is behind it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, those are one of those stories where I hear you. You know what I'm saying? You want to wait till the end of the judgment, but fuck that. I just can't. I just can't agree with that right there. And they do,
Nah,
like you
man.
said. You know what I'm saying? Like a mother. You know what I'm saying? Is a boy's first love, right? Or you know what I'm saying? Whatever that may be, and they always going to defend. But I think sometimes you have to come to realization, like, damn, he done fucked up.
Nah, man. I agree, but on a good note, I saw some news that our guy Deion Sanders, donated half of his salary to Jackson State to complete their football facility.
That's dope. That was super
And
dope.
yeah, man, I just want to shout that man out for that because he's really about to change the landscape of college athletics and HBCUs, and it's like he's just doing one thing after another, to put them on the forefront. So I'm
Mm.
definitely standing behind that man and that program. Hopefully if television works out in my favor in the fall, be able to catch a couple Jackson State games because I like what the guy's doing down there, man.
Yeah, definitely respect to that. Definitely respect to that. I mean, like they say, he is definitely considered a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? He
Oh yeah,
is, and he's just, you know what I'm saying. But whatever, you know what I'm saying, that he's, you know, he's they call him prime time. He may call him a boaster and all that stuff, man. But that man's right there. Then put his money where his mouth was, and I respect the shit out of that. Like
yeah,
he's doing his things in HBCUs. I mean, HBCUs is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? It's and for those who didn't go to HBCU, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you didn't have that privilege to. You didn't have that privilege, and again, that's my opinion. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But that's a culture in itself, right there. You know what I'm saying? And those that are fortunate to experience that world, you know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
just, you know, that's one of those memories that you'll never forget. You know. It's a whole brotherhood in itself, right? It's a whole brother sisterhood in itself. You know what I'm saying? Even
It
outside that
is.
whole fraternity sorority world, like it's a whole connection within itself. So hats off to him for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yes, sir. And I know that we've been talking a lot about TikTok, because TikTok seems to be that that platform is getting the most spotlight right now, for various reasons. But they got the put your shoes on challenge,
That's
which
my
is
shit though.
it has garnered a lot of feedback, a lot of responses. Now, granted, I will say, the bulk of them have been pretty hilarious. If you're not aware of what we're talking about, I'm not sure, what rock you've been under for the last week or two, but, you know, parent walks into the room, tells the child, hey, put your shoes on, I'm about to go fight such and such. They got a child about your age, and if they jump in it, I need you to be ready, so put your shoes on and let's ride out. And the various responses from little boys, little girls. I mean, it's just hilarious.
Mhm.
It's definitely been something to talk about. But then it's also gotten some negative feedback. Because you've
Mhm.
got some folks out there saying that hey, you're traumatizing your kids with having them think they're about to fight. And then another person is saying, well, you joke around with your kids, and if something really pops off and happening, they're going to think it's a joke again, and may not move as quick. And it's always two sides to the coin. But I wanted to pick your brain and see what you thought about that challenge.
I'll be honest. I think even growing up, right, I was always taught, you shouldn't ever try to go and instigate a fight, right? You shouldn't try to go in there and start a fight. And, fighting was not, it was frowned upon, right? However, on the other side, I was also taught that, you have this bubble, and your bubble is the span width of your arms, right? So, as long as you don't violate, my arm length, and you're not within inside my reach, and I'm feeling like I'm attacked, I was always given the green light to where given the green light, I'll leave it at that, right?
All right.
So so given that green light right there, I think you gotta really teach your kids. And again, it kind of shows. I think even in that, get your shoe challenge, they say if, such and such, they're gonna bring over, and if they do, I need you to jump in. So I think you got to make sure that you are still giving that foundation, to your child as the do's and don'ts, when it's okay, when it's not okay, 'cause you do got to protect yourself, unfortunately, it's just the way the world is.
Yeah.
That misery loves
Yeah.
company, and there are some people out here that are miserable and love to, the rain on your parade. So I think you just got to give that foundation. And I think if you give the kid foundation, because even in some of those challenges, some of the kids are like, no, but why you got to go fight? Why A, B, and C? And they don't like to fight, right? That's just not their thing, right? And so
Yeah.
it's one of those things to where, but and you look at it like sometimes they're going in there, they're going to protect, their mother or their father or whatever. And they believe in that side of it. They also look at it as like, you know, also trying to be the adult in the situation. Like, why are you gonna go out and fight? Are you serious? Why are we even about to do this? You know what I'm saying? But I respect it though. Like, I respect the fact that you teach you're teaching them I guess a lesson. But like you said, like the boy who cried wolf. When are they ever gonna know if it's real or not? And so I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm
Yeah.
on I'm on the fence of it. I'm on the fence of it. I'm not gonna lie. The reactions have been hilarious. Though. I've been enjoying the reactions of it.
Nah, man,
I've been
it's
enjoying it.
been wild.
One kid almost started crying off that joint. One kid was almost like, "No, but I don't want to." This, that, and the third, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, it was, man. Each time it popped up on the timeline. I definitely couldn't scroll past it. I had to watch it too. It's in entirety. It pulled me in.
Shit, it's even getting to the old heads of it, right? It's even getting to like, one of them was talking to the aunt, and they was like, "Hey, auntie, I need you to come on outside." And auntie was like, "Fuck it, let's go." You know what I'm saying? So You know,
Yeah, Auntie
I'm
was
on the
ready to
fence.
throw something else on him.
Hey, Auntie was like, "You got your." I heard her in the background. She was like, "You got your weapon?" I was like, "Oh shit." You know what I'm saying? And shit, actually, one kid, she done picked up a scooter. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but there are times where I'll sit there and I do find it comical. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? That's where social media. That's why I always say social media is the devil. That shit is
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, it is, man, because it will pull you right in, man.
It puts you right in. You know what I'm saying? You just keep watching it. You know, it's like we talk about reality TV. You know what I'm saying? Just that chaos for some reason just keep drawing folks in. And that's what
Yeah,
social
because
media is.
as I've said before, man, I like all my drama right there on that 70-inch screen. I like to be able to pause it, walk away from it, turn it off, tune in, tune out. So I get it, and I think that the folks really just have to realize that I mean, a lot of this stuff is done for comedy, done for clicks, done for likes.
Yeah.
You got to be able to separate reality and common sense from
Mm-hmm.
what you see on TV and what you see on your phones, and that's the biggest thing about it. And that's why like I'm on the fence, but I take it for good comedy. That's all it was to me. Good comedy.
And that's all it is. But that's also we got to think of a solid foundation, right? You gotta. I mean, I think we all kind of as long as we know what's being taught to us, and we are teaching, you know what I'm saying, the youth right from wrong. You know what I'm saying, how to control those emotions. I think right now, man, this world is just full of people acting off of emotions and not even thinking about the consequences that come behind it. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
and I think that's one thing we're kind of lacking right now. We're just lacking that foundation part of it. You know what I'm saying? These kids, man, they just running rampant. You know what I'm saying? It's this younger. They're getting younger and younger that are being what I'm saying, put in the system. They
yeah.
starting early, and it's sad, man. It's unfortunately it's sad where they don't even realize how much more life you got.
Man, I agree, man. Sad but true, man. So, what else you got going on over there?
No, man, I know another big thing that was, kind of floating around when they was talking about, certain things that, what I'm saying, black folks don't play with, right? And we talk about certain things. We talk about pet peeves that just about all households will have, right? And I know for my side, we definitely got a couple of them. I think one of my biggest pet peeves is, what I'm saying, outside clothes being on the bed.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I don't know what it is about it, man, but I can't stand when folks just sit on, what I'm saying, where they about to sleep at on the outside clothes, man. And it's
That's
nah,
true.
put the world on your bed, man. Like, come on. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's one of my biggest, man. And I don't know what you got on your list that has a big pet peeve.
Well, before I tell you that, I gotta agree with you with the outside clothes on the bed, and I think that once you leave that college dormitory lifestyle, because in the dorm, all you really have in your room is your bed and maybe a chair or two, a chair at your
Yeah, that's
desk,
fair.
so if you got a couple people that stop by, Bama's got to sit on your bed, but as an adult, out here in the real world, I mean, unless you are in a studio apartment with, no furniture, there is no good reason, to sit down on someone's bed. I know really a lot of that, especially, during COVID, when COVID first started, and everybody thought that you could be wearing COVID. It's like, nah, I just went outside the store. I got to take all this stuff off the door before I even walk around and sit on the couch. So
Yeah,
it's kind of like that same mentality of, I mean, you don't want to be, sitting outside somewhere public and then, the same place where you're laying your head at. That's just nasty, man.
and there's a difference when you had a long, what I'm saying, a long night a long evening of some adult beverages, you know what I'm saying, and passed out on the couch. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing, you know. But when you just, you know, getting off of work, been outside, you know, shaking and moving, you can't just hop in the bed, man, and not wash off those worldly things off you.
Nah, I agree, man. I agree. And my pet peeve, I remember the list. I'm trying to think back to what was on there, but I had something yesterday that really, resonated with me. My number one pet peeve is Bama's that go to the bathroom and don't wash their hands. And I see it at work, and what I started doing, the way I used to process it was, at work, you always have potlucks, so my memory starts thinking back to,
Yeah.
who I know, who I've seen, go to the bathroom. And it's like by the time I'm hitting the flush, you hitting the door and the water ain't running. I'm like, all right, well, if you bring some to potluck, I'm definitely not eating your dish unless it's store bought. And even then, I'm still looking at kind of sideways because you didn't brought it in there. You didn't took the wrapping off of it, so I really don't trust it. So
Facts.
I'm not going nowhere near it. But I know that that kind of spins right into something else that you know we always look at who brought what.
Yeah.
Who brought what, who made what. Especially when
Yeah.
it comes down to like the potato salad and things like that. These are things that you have to know. It's a must. So you don't play with your stomach, man, because nobody is trying to be calling Earl at work or when you get
Yeah.
home because you didn't ate something that was just rancid.
Facts.
But definitely the Bammers that don't wash their hands when they leave the bathrooms. And that's one of the main reasons why I never touch a bathroom door handle, because I know that there's a whole bunch of you nasty people out there, just taking care of business and walking right out the door, man.
Yeah, nah, facts. And I don't know, man. I think with potlucks, man, potlucks always just, I don't know. It's got to be a very close knit of folks, and I gotta be able to trust you and know you to be able to eat off that dish. Growing up, there are a lot of times where what I'm saying, your folks be like, you just can't eat at everyone's house.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there are times when people cook. Imagine them cooking and they don't wash their hands, and now all of a sudden they're making your potato salad, and just to make sure that the potatoes are soft enough, you know what I'm saying? They're using the same spoon, that they taste off of, that they now, they done
Yeah.
mixing the rest of the mayo in it, you know what I'm saying? But they taste it, make sure it got enough pepper, salt, mustard, whatever they put in it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and they tasting it while they making it, not changing utensils or putting in a little side dish, just tasting it. Like, you just don't ever know. So how do you trust them? You know?
Nah.
So yeah, I think potlucks for me are definitely a no bueno for me. So I'm good on that. So
Yeah.
it's a potluck and I don't eat. Don't take it personal. Just know that I'm fasting and I'm there for the fellowship, not for the food.
And it's wild because even with like greens, like my mother will not eat greens outside the house unless it's at someone's house that she knows, because
Hmm.
the level of effort that it takes to to rinse off greens, but sometimes you gotta rinse them off 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
to get all the dirt off and get everything out. And so we'll go to a restaurant and greens on the menu, that is an item she will not check that box. So she's like, nah, I don't know those people back there, I don't trust them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I kind of get it. After making greens a
Yeah.
few times and watching that process, it's like, yeah, you really got to be thorough with what you're cleaning. Because everybody's like, yeah, once you put it in the hot water, it kills everything. I'm like, nah, it doesn't kill everything. I've seen some horrible looking greens that really had to go to the wash like 3 or 4 times, man. So
Yeah.
you
Just think about
definitely
it.
can't eat everywhere.
Sometimes you gotta wash it in the sink. So what if they don't clean their sink out, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And say they didn't change the water out and all that stuff, right? I mean, it's just you just can't eat everywhere, man. You like you say, you gotta be mindful of who you eating after. So I'm with you on that. Definitely with you on that.
Crazy. It's crazy, man. You got any other pet peeves on that list on your mind that you wanna get off your chest?
Yeah, there's another one. What was it? Another one was damn. It was it was the damn. I'm trying to think of it. It was just I was just talking about it too. It was more on the space of where um yeah, man. I don't know about that food thing. I don't know. I just can't rock out with that. But I don't know what
Um,
other pet peeves you got.
my other pet peeve is when you are in a grocery store and you got a Bama in front of you that's ringing their stuff up, and they're just about done. They have like maybe 4 or 5 items left, and man, it can take what 30 seconds to scan 4 or 5 items, right?
Yeah.
Bama realizes they forgot something. They wiggle past your cart and go taking off to the store. Now, if it's something like right behind you, an end cap or something, you forgot some gum, some mints, something like that, candy bar. It's like, all right, I get it. But if you're running back to get some milk and the checkout lane that we're in is like by aisle 20, and you running all the way back to aisle 1 for the milk, that's a pet peeve for me because now you're sitting here holding me up because I picked this line to get behind you because obviously you may have had the shortest amount of items. So I've gotten right here strategically for a reason,
Yeah.
so that way I can get up out this store. And now I'm sitting here with half my carts up, half my items up on the belt, while you're sitting here. And some people don't even run; they casually walk like they're strolling to go pick something up, man. So now I'm at the point where I'm looking at the stuff I have on the belt. Like, can I put this back in my cart? Is there another line that's open? Is somebody just open up where I can go over there? That just drives me crazy. And then they come back nonchalant. And some don't even apologize. They just say, excuse me, and put the item up there. I'm like, come on, man. If you're going to do all that to inconvenience someone, at least, hey, my bad. I apologize. I didn't know that I needed to give me some sort of explanation to why you are
Yeah.
now wasting my valuable time. So that's definitely a pet peeve in the grocery store,
Well, I am the king of that. So I am that guy that'd be like, shit, I done forgot this. And I may tell the clerk, I may have forgot one thing, but I go around and come back with like 4 more items. So I am that guy and be like,
man.
shit, I
Exactly.
think just the other day, you know what I'm saying? I think I forgot bread, milk, and nothing's worse than, you know what I'm saying, when you forget an item, well, and then you think about 2 more items while you're getting that one item, and they're both on the opposite ends of the store. So then you have to run to one, go to the other, go to aisle 20, right? So you go to aisle 1, go to aisle 20, and then on the way back, you'd be like, damn, I would like some of this. And you grab that, like, damn, I forgot some fucking carrots. And then you gotta get back in
Oh
the line.
man.
You know what I'm saying? I am that guy. And if I know if it's about to get too crazy and it's too wild, and I start ringing up, I'll wait and be like, look, just just put this on hold. Because, they can't do that. They can put it on hold.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
they
saying?
can.
Put your
A lot
receipt
of them look at
out
you funny,
and
but
go to the next person.
they'll
You know what
do
I'm
it.
saying? But I feel like that's me trying to be courteous to the person behind me and be like, all right, I'm going to hold you up. Got a couple more things I got to get. So just put the shit on hold. Unfortunately, you may not have as much bagging area as you had before I came there, but you'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And when I get back, just pull up my ticket number again and add these 2 more things so I can be on my merry way.
Yes, at least you're somewhat, could consider it, there. Because while I'm sitting here watching you zip around the store, I'm thinking this individual has so many options to get this accomplished. You could put the bags in the car, you could run back in, go to self checkout. There's the beauty of this thing called Instacart. So many different options versus holding me up. Because the one thing that gives me, and I've done it a number of times, is the barman in front of me puts their cart there, and they're running back, still grabbing stuff while they're in line. and I'm just sitting here watching because I'm like, look, this person in front of us wraps up while you're still running around. I'm going to kindly scoot your cart to the side. I may even nudge it a little bit, give it a little hip check, and I'm gonna ring my stuff up so I can get out of there.
I'm on the fence. I don't think that's too bad. I just think that, now I think if you do that intentionally to put your cart there just because you see long lines and be like, I'll be back, I think that's kind of shady. But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If it is unintentional and it's an honest mistake, it's just life. It happens.
Nah,
Grocery
man,
shopping, shit
you don't
happens.
get in line until you have all your items, and until you feel a sense of completion. That's when you get in line. There's no saving places in line.
So you're gonna tell me you never been in line, and while you're getting there, your better half text you and be like, "Hey, grab this." You're gonna tell me you're gonna sit there and check all the way out, put the stuff in the cart or whatever you're gonna do, or you're gonna run back and go get it.
Now, see, you presented me with an interesting dilemma because it depends on where I am in this journey. Because 9 times out of 10, I have told my better half that, hey, look, I'm going to the store. What do you need? When I get to the store, it's like, hey, I got that. Let me know if you need something else. If I'm in the line, we're at the point of completion. Now, I'm going to sit here and look to see how urgent it is to get that item. And then I'm going to decide, what's the best course of what's the best course of action? Is it something I can quickly run back and get? Is it something that, hey, we're just going to have to do without this week? Or is it something I'm going to have to run back in and go to self-checkout? So I'm going to go through that whole range of options, to decide, what's what. But when you're in the line checking out, it's kind of like, especially if the store is crowded.
Not
Now
hear
if
you.
it's
Not hear
if
you.
it's before a holiday, like before Thanksgiving, the stores are crowded, and that running back to make that trek is going to be a journey, or if you check out and have to get back in line, the lines are long. That's something a little different. But if it's just a normal day during the week or something along those lines, sometimes you just gotta, hey, we didn't get that this week.
So have you ever seen that text while you was in line and been like, "Damn, I just left the store"?
Of course.
Okay, that's fair.
No, hold on. And said it. No, I didn't say it. I'm straight up. I'm like, look, man, I'm checking out. Already got it. I start looking at options like, all right, well, look, we can order that online because now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, we also need X, Y, and Z. So I'll just order it. I'm the king of ordering. It's an app for everything. So I'm gonna find a way to get it and scoop it, or even if it's something minor, I may stop at 7-Eleven and pay the premium of CVS. Because they jack the prices up just to nudge. But I rather be inconvenienced that way to say, all right, well, look, I'm gonna spend an extra dollar to get this versus doing that whole the victory lap back around the grocery store again. So like I said, I'm gonna look at every option available, to make that happen. I don't want to walk back and go without it, and have to hear about that. So
Yeah, but what
really
if it's
gonna
like a key
evaluate that
ingredient,
situation.
right? What if it's a key ingredient that you can only get from a grocery store, from that particular grocery store, and you need it? You got, it takes 7 different ingredients, and you got 6 of them, and you forgot the one, right? You gonna sit there and like you said, you're making that dish that night.
Now, see, now that begs the bigger question: who forgot that one ingredient? Was I not given that ingredient before I left, or did I just overlook that ingredient on my list? Because those are two different questions.
Sometimes, that's a good question. That's a good decent variable to look at. I think that 'cause you can't sit there and act like you never, what I'm saying? There could be some stuff on your list that you're like, shit, I forgot to get that. And I knew it was on my list, right?
Nah, which is true.
And then so if it's your fault, then what? You're just gonna go muscle it back and just not inconvenience them. Like, all right, you know what? I'll wait through this long line, especially if it's Thanksgiving. Say it's Thanksgiving, right? And the person's making your favorite mac and cheese, and they thought they had enough at the crib, but they come to find out while they're making it, or they needed a couple more ingredients for it. Now remember, they're trying to do you a service. They're gonna make your favorite dish, and you're looking forward to it. What are you gonna do? Now remember, it's your favorite mac and cheese, and so you got to think about. You don't want any variation of it. You want exactly how you make it every single time. So if you miss that one key ingredient, it will alter that taste. So what are you going to do?
That'd be something where I probably would go ahead and check out and just run back to the store again.
Well, you're a better man than me because everyone's waiting.
So you're trying to start a riot in the store.
I know that's a very tough time to be in the store.
You know, folks got a short fuse these days. You're trying to start, as you know how the grocery stores be before Thanksgiving and Christmas, man. You know, folks have already on their second or third trip out of the store because they didn't got back home, and somebody has been like, "Yeah, I forgot to tell you, you know, we need this and this and this." They're in the parking lot. They couldn't find a spot. Somebody then banged their door up on the way in the store, so they're already on edge about that.
I mean, unfortunately,
you are putting yourself at risk. You're like that dude who jumped out the truck with the flashlight. You know, you are thinking off of emotions, and who knows what may happen there.
So, and that's why I say you make your bed, you gotta lay it. And unfortunately, if I gotta hold you up and someone is really feeling that froggy, then it can always be a discussion. You know what I'm saying? Like I will try to keep the conversation at a 5 and be like, "Yo, my bad, man. Let me just run back and get this or whatever." But yeah, I am that guy. I will sit there and be like, "All right, you gotta hold on real quick, dude. I'll be right back." You know what I'm saying? Or, I think you should be polite about it. I don't think you should just walk away. I think you should be polite about it. And
there's nothing worse
than that person who forgets it and walks back through the small ass aisle. You know what I'm saying? I feel that if you do hold the line up, walk out of the aisle. Keep your shit there. I'm cool with that. Keep your shit there. But don't be trying to squeeze by my cart and start now I gotta start adjusting and moving my shit around. Like, come on, man. Like, dude, fucking walk around, go back through one of those empty lanes and find your shit and keep it moving. But
exactly,
that's where I'm at. But unfortunately, no. But hold on, remember. Now, I'm not saying get out of the checkout line. I'm just simply saying don't walk back through the same line where there's like 10, 15 people with 45 things in their cart, right? I'm saying continue to walk forward, leave your shit at the register, walk out, go through another lane that's empty or wherever you got to go, get your shit, walk back out. But then you always got that one person that want to squeeze by and be like, "Oh, my bad, let me get by you real quick." No, motherfucker, walk forward. Go somewhere else. That's my thought.
I agree.
Because once you start getting like bumpy and touchy and all that other stuff, that's when now you're pushing it, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a certain etiquette I think you need to follow. Yeah, now that's exactly what you did. You threw salt and alcohol in the wound. You know what I'm saying? Like, be at least be polite about it and don't just try to carry folks. I think that's when people really get mad. But I think if you communicate it properly and be like, "Yeah, my fault. I gotta run this," and whether they play telephone and tell the folks behind them, because someone behind that person is gonna be like, "Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's up there? What's happening?"
Exactly.
Be like, "Oh yeah, man, dude just forgot something. Keep it moving," and that's it. That's fine. But communication is key. Communication, I think, gets you through. 98% of your issues you have.
No,
You should be
this
right.
is true. I can agree with you on that because if you are communicating with the folks will be more understanding because 9 times out of 10 they've been in a similar situation. But if you're just moving with a sense of entitlement and just trying to squeeze through past the carts and go run and get whatever you got to run, and that's when people really get heated. That's when that arrogance is really going to just fuel the situation in the wrong way.
That you hit the nail on the head, though. It's the arrogance part of it. Like, let's not be arrogant about it. You know what I'm saying? Just communicate and be like, yo, my bad. You ain't gotta say sorry. You ain't gotta say my apology or whatever. You use whatever rendition of what you say as sorry or my apologies, whatever you do, like, oh, my bad. Excuse me, like, give me a second or
Yeah,
whatever. But if you communicate, you can't just walk away and be like silent about it.
exactly.
That's where it becomes a problem.
Exactly, man.
So I think as long as you're able to communicate, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So,
No,
I don't know.
I agree.
And that's what I say. I think it's about, there's certain etiquettes, right? And again, on my list, my other one is, it still goes back to the house, because I feel like the house is a sacred place, right? You can't invite everyone to your house. You got to be, what I'm saying, mindful who enters that threshold, because you want to keep that kind of aura inside your crib, right? So when people have certain
Yeah.
auras, you don't want them to come through, right? So I think one of my things is, wearing shoes throughout the house.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think if you have maybe a function, that can be an exception. But you know what I'm saying? You got a couple folks that stop by, you come over, you know. I know some women, they wear sandals, they wear, heels and stuff like that where they don't have socks. But you got that big ass purse, bring a pack of socks. You know what I'm saying? Bring an extra pair of socks or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
if you don't want to walk around
Especially
barefoot.
especially if you got like a light color carpet, because light carpet, and that was one of matter of fact, that spins to a whole other pet peeve of, old, apartments I used to have. Why are you putting this light carpet in there that picks up and shows, everything? And, wearing shoes on that is definitely a maintenance nightmare because, you got to constantly, clean it in those spots because the smallest spot will stand out on the lightest carpet. No matter where you're standing, your eyes always just drawn to it to,
Right?
see the spot. But, I agree with you, man. And then if you have a function, and folks who've been there before, they know you gotta take your shoes off. Or folks who haven't been there, put that in at the bottom or remind them when you send out the reminder text and say, hey, don't forget to bring some socks or have some guest socks, available.
That's fair. I think you can have some guest socks. Take the socks with you. Do not leave the socks. I'm not washing the socks.
Yeah,
Take the
yeah,
socks
yeah,
with you.
yeah. Socks are yours. I know some people back in the day were, extremely fancy where they had, guest footies. And I'm like, oh, you really thought this out. And
I'm big on
I,
that though. I believe
I
in
respect that.
little booties. You know what I'm saying, for your shoes. Like, you come over, it's a function. Put these shits on, or you can walk your ass around the side and go through the fence and sit in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, but at the
it can
same
be outdoor
time,
function.
to you gracious individuals that have the booties or the footies or whatever they're called, make sure you have more than one size. A lot of people buy the one size fits all, and that's not absolutely true. Not everybody wears a 6.5 or a 7. And I say that from experience of a guy that wears a size 14.
Mm,
Because if I got the footy on and every 5 minutes, I'm adjusting it because it's slipping off the back of my heel, it's like you're really not doing me a solid any type of favor. So it's like
that's
gloves.
fair.
You can't buy mediums and expect everybody to wear medium. You gotta have
That's
a
fair.
range of different sizes. So that's my advice.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a gracious host, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
I,
you
I,
going
I
that
think
far to
that's
get
fair.
them, just go ahead and get a couple different boxes.
Yeah, I can respect that. I think that's a great workaround on that. But I can't stand when people just come in and be like, "Damn, man, I can't take my shoes. I ain't got socks on." First of all, why the fuck don't you got socks on? All right, you know what I'm saying? You're not at the beach. You're not wearing
Yeah,
slides. You're not wearing thong flip flops. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Just
yeah. This is true.
what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Just put socks on, because your feet are all sweaty and stinking now. You know what I'm saying? They in that dark, shoe, and they sweating. Now you got your shit all over my carpet. Put socks on.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's a two-way street for that one.
No, it is, and before we jump into the next thing, it brought something back to mind because I was reading, a couple episodes ago we were talking about like etiquette on the airplanes,
Hmm.
and I was reading an article and they were talking about folks that take their shoes off on the flight. You got a long flight, like say for instance the flight from DC to Dubai, that's about 13 hours.
Yeah,
So 13 hours and some shoes just sitting there. Yeah, it can get a little uncomfortable, so you take your shoes off. Now, some
yeah,
airlines will give you the slippers, you know.
hmm,
Some other airlines will give you the socks.
yeah,
But they were talking about the folks that get on the plane and take their shoes off and don't have socks on. And they're like, yeah, that's not the best thing to do. One, your feet may stink, which is true.
sure,
Some people have, foot problems. I'm not knocking them. But if you know you do, don't expose everybody else to that. If you
yeah,
got foot fungus and foot odor, then you need to keep them dogs covered up. But they were talking
yeah,
about the folks that take their shoes off and walk around the plane with no socks on, and they're like, yeah, you may have a foot fungus and it can be contagious, and someone else puts their foot down, it becomes a whole nightmare, So if you're on a plane, make sure you have some socks, have some travel socks, have some slippers, have something in your bag.
yeah. But that's
Don't
just
be
kind
out
of, I
here just
don't
raw
know, man.
dogging it, man.
Straight raw dogging, right? And I think I don't know. I think that's kind of trifling, though, right? I think first of all, why are multiple people on the plane without socks and shoes on? That's one. And two, I think I got a problem with just the fact that if you walk around barefoot on the plane, right, and you just think about how dirty an airport and how many people travel through that airport and walked over gum, someone who may spit, uh, whatever it may be, right? You
Yeah,
have all these
yeah,
elements on the bottom of people's shoes that have been on the plane, on the carpet. Now it's just kind of resting on the top surface of that carpet, and you're willing to jeopardize, you know what I'm saying? It kind of checks that box as, and now I know why you have a foot fungus.
yeah,
It's like not washing your hands. You're a nasty motherfucker. Like, come on,
yeah,
you got to, you know what I'm saying? You gotta protect your feet. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be walking anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Then imagine someone who walked into the bathroom or whatever, right? Um, in the airport or anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You don't know where the
yeah,
bottom of somebody's feet have been. You know what I'm
yeah, man. The
saying? They
ground's
could
a
just,
dirty place.
that's what I'm saying, right? And so, you're gonna sit there and just walk behind someone. I don't know about that, man. That shit trifling. That shit hella trifling. I just can't do it. Can't do it.
Nah, nah, it's wild, man. But I know we're about to get out of here, man. But I wanted to get your take on something. I was scrolling social media, and I saw this woman climbing through the drive-through window at McDonald's.
Mm,
And she asked to be trained, so she could make her own food. The backstory here is, the workers couldn't take any more orders. So say for instance the restaurant closed at 11. It's like 10:30, and they blocked the door because
mm,
the workers said today they ran out of gloves. So they couldn't make any more food. Which I get. Hey, gloves are required to make things, and you don't have gloves, and hey, look, we got to shut down operations. So the woman, climbed through the drive-through window and was asking the workers to, train her to make her food. Now, what her food was, I have no idea.
mm.
But what do you think about the initiative of this woman? One, crawling through the drive-through window. The drive-through windows are but so big.
Yeah.
And two, what do you think about the workers, showing her how to make, and it kind of pains me to say her favorite dish at a fast food restaurant. So I'm just gonna say her favorite meal. And I mean, what do you think about
Yeah, that's a little bit too much. I think you probably need to sit your ass down and go somewhere else,
that?
right? I think, And I don't know. I mean, I think there's so many things you can add to it. Maybe she had a craving for it or whatever, right? And I don't know. I think you probably just need to sit down and is that worth it?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
now, now you're behind the cash register. If they want to be jerks, you can be trespassing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let off for some chicken nuggets. You know what I'm saying? But you about to get a fine or do some time over some chicken nuggets or a dollar McChicken sandwich. Nah, just you'll be all right, man. Just like I said, man, maybe you just need to sit down, pray, and fast for the night, and just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? I think you
Yeah.
need to sit that one down because I just don't think it's worth it for all that.
Nah,
And I'm
man,
not gonna
it's a
lie,
lot.
that's probably some of the greediest shit I probably ever heard.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And
again,
yeah, I
I'm
think
not
it,
judging. I'm not judging. I'm not knocking it. If you've done that before, I guess more power to you. But yeah, that's some hungry shit right there.
nah, I get it, and I agree with you. And not one of the most proudest moments in my life, but this is coming from the guy who went there with another buddy of ours, and we spent about $35 at McDonald's. So I understand how things can get some time and how you may not be in the right state of mind, but I agree. Sometimes you just gotta chalk it up to like, all right, look, I'm gonna get that 20-piece nugget next time. Maybe I didn't need it. You gotta look to say that maybe it's not in the cards for me. It wasn't
That's
meant to
fine.
be, and let that ride because I saw the video and I saw the young lady who crawled through the window, and I'm just thinking, I'm putting myself in that position. I'm like, how would this have turned out if me, 6'4", black man, bald with a beard, climb my lanky self, through a drive-through window, to make,
Yeah,
some McChickens and a large fry and a fish sandwich. How would that have ended?
yeah. Nah, see, that's what I'm saying. There's so many ways that story can go. Right,
Yeah,
that can either be a really bad night or definitely a night that goes down in the books to write down it to tell to tell your tell the legacy behind you. But hey,
yeah,
this is what I've done. And I'm not
exactly.
proudest, but this is what I've done. By any means necessary. That's the true definition of that, right? So I don't know.
Crazy.
I think that's probably some of the hungriest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, man, that,
That's
that,
like
that,
those
that
people.
that's
That's like
wild.
people who like dance when they start eating, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you start dancing, you be like, this shit is good. You know what I'm saying? You start moving while eating. All right, you know. I think a good head nod is it's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I think that
Yeah,
suffices right there. But that's probably as far as that should go for there.
man, I agree, man. When you see the sun is coming up over my shoulders, man. So hey, before we get out of here, you got anything else on your chest?
No, man, I know. There's definitely we definitely have some good shows. We got a lot more interviews coming up. I know it's been a while since our last one, but we got some good folks coming on. So definitely just stay tuned for that. And I don't know, just they. I was talking to the good folks over at Sisha to you. They're doing this new thing, doing pop-ups. They're doing these pop-ups where they're giving out these crazy sales for hookahs and supplies and stuff like that. So, make sure you check them out because they got some crazy sales. I think even last weekend they had a 30% off kind of sale going on. So, and then I know even with their prices, I've been comparing their prices because they've been hyping it up, talking about they got some of the best prices. On their supply, whether it's accessories or the actual hookah flavors, whatever it is, bowls, whatever that may be in the bowl. You know what I'm saying? It's they got they got some really good sales on that. So even though they already beat the prices and they're adding on, additional 30%. And definitely be on the lookout. They are gonna have what I'm saying, a 40-50% off coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. And so they told us to definitely put that word out, put the bug in the ear. So some good shit going on. Good shit going on out here.
I
So hats
like
off,
it. I like
especially
it.
to you. Yeah, they doing their thing.
Indeed, man. I'll be in the States in about a month or so. And
Yeah,
the beauty of flying international is, you get 2 check bags for free. I know that, we get caught up, on domestic flights a lot, but, having to pay for bags and, things of that nature. I'm not, knocking my favorite airline, Spirit, about having to
sure.
pay for carry-ons. But I mean, most airlines, they charge you for the check bags. But flying, internationally, you get 2 bags. So I'm only there for a week. So in theory, I only need 1 bag, but your boy is coming with 2. So I'm definitely stop past sheesh to you because I got to re-up. They got some stuff that I cannot find here in the UAE. I've been fiending for some guava. I've got
Mm,
like probably 2 pinches of guava left.
mm.
I'm savoring them, holding on to them. The guava is like something special, you bring out when you have guests. That's how I treat the guava, so I'm definitely coming, with an empty bag. I'm gonna make sure that I get 49.9 pounds,
There you
in that
go.
bag, so that's it, man. But hey, once again, shout out to Sheesh to you. Don't forget you can follow them on IG. You can keep up with us on Twitter at In the Bowl Pod. Thanks again for rocking with us. Like Nas mentioned, we got some guests lined up, coming through. It's summertime, so summertime, everybody's moving around, so but let everybody, have their fun, not trying to step on anybody's toes, but, the guests are coming. We do have some exciting guests lined up, some good conversations in the bowl. So, look out for that. And last but not least, don't forget, keep your hookahs clean after every use. Rinse it out, wash it out, flush it out, make sure it's all set. So the next time you have guests coming over or the next time you're smoking, everything's already ready for you. It's plug and play at that point. You set it up, you smoke it, you enjoy it, so keep those hookahs clean. So until next time, hey, we appreciate y'all rocking with us.
And as always, click, like, and subscribe.
Hustle 5 Ways Radio.